2013 Tundra battery replacement. Pop your hood, come over here. Mine has a small battery in it. I think it might be the wrong battery, but either way, I'm going to put the correct battery in. So first what you want to do is take your hold down off. It's a 10 millimeter nut on each side, a deep socket. 10 millimeter deep socket is needed because the little post will go kind of up into the socket. You don't have to remove the nut completely, just loosen this enough to where you could just kind of wiggle these poles out of their holes, and then we'll just lift it straight up. If you want, you could take it all apart and then just, put it back together when we put it back together. The black pole goes to the rear, and then the silver one goes up front. Anyways, so we're gonna come over here, and down there is where the little hooks go into these little holes down here. That's for when we put it back together. All right, so let's go and get this out. You can take this cover off. We're gonna get the negative terminal off first, the clamp. So if it's a factory clamp, it should be a 10 millimeter. This has an aftermarket clamp on here, and I don't know if you noticed, but whoever put this on here like bent the wire. Sometimes the nuts strip out, so just use maybe a smaller socket or a standard. I had to get a standard socket on this because for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just rounded out or like the person had an aftermarket clamp or nut on here. But anyways, yours should be a 10 millimeter. Anyways, so I got this loose. You don't have to get it completely off, you just get it loose enough. Sometimes, and then you're going to want to just try to twist this. Sometimes they're very stubborn, like if it's corroded like this one is. So what I had to do is I had to kind of pull the clamp apart, like separate it in the middle. You take a flathead, just kind of stick it in the clamp, and then just kind of pry back and forth, and it'll push the clamp apart right in the front there. Not a big deal, and that'll just help it get loose. And then you can wiggle this off, and try not to let it arc on the frame or any grounds. I just kind of tuck it away so it's not going to hit the frame or nothing. And then we'll get this 10 millimeter off over here. Same thing, just get the nut loose enough to where you could wiggle the terminal clamp, and then go straight up with it. I had to do kind of the same thing on this one. What you have to do on the positive is put the screwdriver here and then just kind of hammer it with a hammer, and it'll kind of break the clamp loose if it's being stubborn on you, and then just wiggle and pull it up. They should have some sort of resistance. They shouldn't just come off super easy, so just expect to kind of wiggle it a little bit. Alright, so a lot of corrosion here. I'll show you how to clean that up. Go and get the battery out, and I'm going to tuck this clamp to the side. Now that the clamp and the hold down's out of the way, I'm going to remove it from the vehicle. When the battery's gone, if you get yourself some boiling water, you could dip your clamps into it, and it'll melt away all the corrosion and just all the buildup, and then you'll have like a clean clamp again. It's just like an old little mechanic trick. You could like just clean them up with a wire brush and stuff too, and cleaner, but hot water just tends to melt it away. So here's my new battery. Like I said, it's a bigger battery. Just make sure that the terminals match up. This is the brand 710 CCA. Tundras, for some reason, they have different options for batteries. You can get a smaller one or a bigger one. It just depends. But this one takes a bigger one. That's why I'm putting the bigger one back in. So take that little cover off the terminal. Let's put our positive on first. You want to push it down as far as you can, and then tighten this down. You don't got to go crazy tight. Just get it snug enough to where the clamp's not going to move around. Sometimes people over tighten this, and then they break their clamp or they damage the terminal. Alright, so there you go. That's not going to move, and that's a snug fit. Now we'll come over here to the negative, remove this little terminal cover, and we'll put our negative on. It might spark a little bit, and if you have like an aftermarket alarm, you might set your alarm off, so just have your key ready to turn your alarm off. And then I'll tighten this down. Same thing, doesn't have to be crazy tight, just get it snug so it's not going to move. And after that's on, we could put our battery hold down back on. The silver post, the more silver one, goes to the front. So just put this down here. Again, if you took this all apart, it's not that hard to just figure out how to kind of get it all back together. It's not a big deal. The most tedious part is probably just getting these hooks back in the little holes down here. But just be patient. It might, take a couple tries. Just get the hooks in, and then even when you go to tighten it down, they might pop out of the holes. The hooks might pop out of the holes, so just be patient. Get the hooks in the hole, and then just go back and forth, tightening it slowly, and that way, when you're tightening down, it just won't pop the other side out. All right, so you got this snug. You don't got to get this crazy tight because you could bend or warp your battery. Just get it snug. I know I've been saying that a lot, but I see it all the time. Things are over tightened and the battery looks deformed or something. And that's it, guys. So I hope this video helped you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Don't forget to put your little cover on right here. That should just clip on, and that's it.
You're pretty good, but your style is no match for mine.